I'm Mart Camoccio, and I've got a rather special rifle here. This is brand new, coming from the UK distributors John Rothery, and this is the latest field target rifle from Walther, made in Germany. It's the Walther LG400 field target, and what makes it unusual is that obviously for a lot of the time in field target and obviously HFT, the match rifles such as this have largely been sort of indoor Olympic 10 metre, 6 foot-pound, low powered in other words, and then they've been converted and tweaked by sort of enthusiasts and custom outfits. This one's actually a full power model that's come straight from Walther, and they're trying to compete you know, with the sort of main rivals such as Anschutz and Steuer, and of course no surprise it's very similar. This is called the sort of Alutech. I think there's various specifications, Alutech Expert, etc., and they also do a walnut version. Price is still to be confirmed because it's so new, but we guess it's sort of between £2,500 and £3,000, because if you look at the sort of latest Anschutz when that hit the market, it was comparable to that. There's so many features. Obviously this is total high end. It's all to do with ultra refinement and adjustability, and to maximise the accuracy potential. Again, it's for the real enthusiasts that want to push to that nth degree. So sort of starting at the muzzle here, you've got this is a factory produced air stripper. This is all as it comes from Walther, and that's the adjustable air stripper, which looks very impressive. Everything feels particularly well made, very finely engineered. You've got a full carbon fibre barrel shroud. You've got a barrel clamp there, although I can see a lot of enthusiasts taking that straight off just to give sort of freedom to the barrel. You've got a removable air cylinder. You've got a manometer in the front of it. It's a dangerous place to put it, but everyone's doing it. Coming further back, you've got a side cocking lever here, which we'll come to. You've got a full two-stage adjustable match trigger. These go down to around about 2 ounces, which of course makes my eyes light up as someone who's obsessed with triggers. You've also got an adjustable shoe, and yeah, these are about as crisp and as sweet as they get. You've got there's fine adjustment even in the grip. You've got these moulded grips here, but you can adjust the sort of offset for the grip slightly. Cheek piece adjustment, full butt hook, and yeah, it's very impressive. Regulated action. So let's look at those features in more detail. Now with this gun, you do get this little toolbox actually, which has a few bits and pieces in it. You've got various spares, and also you get all your Allen keys actually on a tool, which is quite neat. Given that there's a multitude of adjustments, that's really quite a neat feature. They send that through, and I've had a sort of relatively, well, 1/4 inch easy at 40 yards, but that's the test card at 50 yards. Going back to the multi-sectional butt hook, and of course field target especially, this is the full thing that everyone's after, and you get this additional, that would be illegal in HFT, but in field target you're allowed to have a full extended butt hook which goes under your shoulder, and of course you can imagine all these different elements are all adjustable. Everything's tweakable, directional, so you can have this fine suited to the angle that you want to adopt the gun, and you've got a wheel there that just adjusts like a quick adjuster. On the other side there's actually just an Allen key that keeps that tight. You slacken that off, and thereafter you can use that as a quick adjuster, and it'll bring, obviously it will lessen the length of pull or make everything longer, again to suit your body shape. Likewise, you've got full adjustment on the cheek piece, and as I think I said earlier, you've also got on the palm grip, you can again slightly alter the angle on that. Moving along on the gun, you've got that's just the reverse side of the cocking lever, which we'll show you in a moment. Here you've actually got I believe that stands for like test and fire, and effectively put it onto T for test. You've got a dry fire facility, so literally you can just cock the lever and feel the sensation of the trigger without firing any air, which can be great for if you can get disciplined and do some practice at home. You haven't got to fire a shot, and that's brilliant. Moving along, I'll just show you now the Walther, as with a lot of the German makes, have a removable air cylinder, and you'll hear a slight hiss. That's just the disconnection. They've changed the valve in now because it used to be a real faff, but now you can remove this at any time. That comes out, and that will then screw directly. They give you a big brass adapter that screws straight into the side of the large fitting on your diver's air bottle, and then you'll charge this directly from the diver's bottle. So you're slightly losing the flexibility of if you wanted to do things with a pump, etc. But it's so much easier with using this on a diver's bottle. This is obviously removable now. There's pros and cons. The safety, the German approach seems to be that 10 years, use the cylinders for 10 years maximum, and then move to a new one. And of course there is a safety aspect to that, but the fact you are removing such a large element of the rifle just to charge it, I do find a bit irritating, because you're sort of in theory unbalancing the system. Everything's very well made, of course, and it should mate back to how it was, but that is a slight downside. It's quite a sizable air cylinder on these, and I did a test with this the other day and had about 150 shots through from a 200 bar fill. I think Walther is saying you can fill it also possibly to 300 bar, but as usual, stick to the lower pressure. If you're getting 100, I stopped at 150 shots. There were probably a lot more in the system, but I got to sort of around where the regulator pressure could have been. But you basically got loads of shots, so why charge it to, why stress everything on a much higher pressure? So it's probably 200 bar is the practical pressure. But I think it's worth focusing on the cocking system at the start. I'm not quite sure I like this lever, but it's what they've had on their main match rifles for some while. It's just a little bit, could do with a bit more sort of comfort feel to it, I suppose, but maybe I'm being a bit picky. But to cock it, you lift that up all the way, very easy because you've got so much leverage, and then the pellets are just literally it's single shot and you're rolling it into that channel. So I'll just roll that across, and there it's sitting in the channel. As you close it, the probe comes in behind, feeds it into the breech. It's a bit of sort of spring assistance with that first part. Now it's closing, now it's ready, so I'll just fire this off. Quite a dead feel to the action. Obviously we're indoors here, so the air stripper is particularly noisy at the moment, but people don't care about the noise with these machines. It's all about that performance. A slight negative, again I'm being picky, but that struck me as being a little bit crude for someone as prestigious as Walther, but you've got a sort of external articulation there, and as that comes up it does actually foul the scope rail, so you just got to make sure that your mounts are either side of that. I did actually fall foul of that when I initially tried to put mounts on, but shouldn't be a major problem. It's just something that's worth bearing in mind if you have a particular mount that you need to use. There's quite a thin rail there, and then the articulation rises up and is where the mount's going to be. But obviously field target shooters are all using high-rise rails, etc. There's loads of ways around that, but it's worth pointing out. I'll just fire that one off again. As I say, you've got a super light two-stage trigger. They're quite heavy, these. It's 10.2 pounds in weight without a scope when I checked it, but you've got everything you need there for top class competition, be that field target or of course they're going to creep into HFT as well. But that's the very latest Walther LG400 field target.